Hi, welcome to another edition of the Tiny Home Geniuses podcast. This one is called Decluttering Your Bonus from Your Tiny Home, and the whole post is on the website. It's https tinyhomegeniuses.com. So decluttering. Decluttering is a huge advantage of tiny home living. However, to declutter, we have to sacrifice many things we believe are essential. There's a link in the first paragraph to an earlier post I wrote about my own experience when the decision to move to a small home was made for me. I had no choice in the matter. It made it easier in some ways, but I had no time to think about it or plan my decluttering exercise, so it was still a nerve-wracking experience. In talking to people about tiny home living, one of the most frequent concerns is how to manage without all the stuff accumulated over the years. That might be one of your first thoughts too. It's partly a generational thing. I've observed that if you're a younger 30-something, a millennial or a late generation Yer, you're probably less attached to material things than us baby boomers or early generation X's. You're also more likely to be concerned about the environment and rampant consumerism. You'll be more aware of the concept of minimalism or minimalist lifestyle. If you're in that group, you're probably well on your way to decluttering your life, whether you are planning to move to a tiny home or not. So what about decluttering for older generations? Unlike my experience, you might still have the luxury of looking around your conventional sized home where you're living now. You might walk past cupboards or closets full of clothes, bed linen and curtains from your previous house that didn't fit this one, but you couldn't bear to part with just in case. Your kitchen cupboards are probably full of crockery, pots and pans that haven't been used in years, odd cups and saucers, plates, the survivors of tea sets or dinner services which were casualties of childhood clumsiness, enthusiastic young kitchen helpers, or domestic differences of opinion. Happens to all of us. Attics, basements and garages are wonderful hiding places for forgotten toys, old clothes, baby carriages or prams and photographs, things that were put aside to be fixed half a lifetime ago, but slowly got buried under yet more broken things awaiting repair. Rarely used glassware, pots, pans and small electrical appliances that get tucked away in case the kids need them when they leave home. These can accumulate quicker than you realize. Books, magazines, old business papers yellowing away in boxes which are years past the 5 or 7 year mandatory retention time for accounting requirements. Those can all fill enough boxes to sink a barge. So where to start? It doesn't matter where you start, just that you do. You'll find it easier to work through one room or storage area at a time. You will almost certainly need to do it in cycles. Why cycles? Because if you try to completely finish decluttering a room or the whole house in your first attempt, you'll be fighting the natural hoarding instincts that got you cluttered in the first place over every item you pick up. However, if you start with a fairly light purge, you'll find it fairly easy to throw out stuff in the I had been meaning to get rid of it category. That would include things like the broken vase that Aunt Sally gave you as a wedding present, which was broken when your now teenager child learned to climb furniture as a toddler. You kept it with the best sense of family loyalty, but have known in your heart for years that it was beyond repair. If you work through your house, garage, storage sheds, and wherever else you've been hoarding stuff one room at a time, you'll get used to the idea of letting go of stuff you don't need. So here's 3 questions to help you make the choices you need to ask yourself. When did I last use this? Under what circumstances could I need it in the next year? Is there a real, practical or sentimental reason for keeping it? If you haven't used it in the last 2 years, it's not something expensive or highly customized that you use for a once-in-5-year event or activity, say a sporting event or a special type of holiday. And if it doesn't have the sentimental value of the last remaining photograph of your parents, then it should go, unless it would be very expensive to replace. If you do not expect to use in the next year, it should go too. Storage facility owners get rich by charging homeowners more each month in rental than the replacement value of the contents. the next cycle. No matter how strict you think you are in your first cycle, it's almost certain that you will not throw enough out. Do the same exercise again. Get tough. Stop justifying keeping things you know you should discard. Some people can do a great job of decluttering in 2 cycles, a rare few in 1. Many need 3 or more attempts. The simple but brutal alternative. Here's a simple 3-step process. Find your new smaller or tiny home. Move what you consider absolutely essential into it. Sell, give away, donate, or throw away everything else. That might work better for you. So here's the conclusion. The rising cost of houses, shortages of land for building, job insecurity, and slow rate of wage increases will all cause more people to live in smaller or tiny homes. Dwindling resources and the need to protect the environment will put pressure on all of us to consume less. Decluttering will help us adjust to these realities. I've given you some ideas to start your own decluttering. For more ideas, it's worth reading a book, The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up by Marie Kondo, and there's a link in the blog post for that. So, it's time to start decluttering. Thanks for listening. Until next time, bye for me, Peter Wright.